Jeez.
You okay?
Yep.
Doing good? Okay.
It's a very odd sensation, but
Well, these joints, it's almost, think of like Neo from the, why do my eyes hurt? Because you've never used them before, right? Why does that feel weird? Because you've really never used this side of your neck, or at least in a while, you understand? Tell me about yourself. You have some lower back SI joint pain. Tell me about it a little bit.
I do a lot of weightlifting. CrossFit's my main thing. So I work out probably 5 to 6 times a week.
Okay.
I notice mainly when I use a barbell, I'll have like a very sharp pain in my SI joints.
Okay.
It makes it incredibly hard to sit, stand, do normal activities. So.
Does anything go down farther down the legs? Anything in the legs? Any pain or numbness or tingling farther down, or just in that spot there?
I'll notice that my sciatic nerve will hurt a lot, and it'll radiate from like the top of my glute all the way down the back of my legs.
Okay.
Mainly just on the left side, not too much on the right.
We have 24 members in our team in here, and quite commonly we age or stress, specifically the last 2 of them, at a high rate. When we sit a lot, or even when we have our chest locked when we're lifting weights, so your traps, your lats, your diaphragm, your quadratus lumborum, all attach at T12 in here.
Okay.
And so when you're working out a lot, it's very easy for our chest, specifically this area, plus the ribs are all protecting this area anyway. This area becomes immobilized, and then the lower back ends up becoming moving too much. We call it hypermobile. And so coupled with, if you're doing a job where you're sitting a lot, that takes the curve out of your back. So now like a ladder, all the weight is being shifted down to the bottom.
Okay.
When we're adjusting you, we specifically use the word adjustment because we're trying to loosen one area and not loosen another.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therapy and a lot of different practitioners will have different ideas on where to adjust you, and I have been trained by my father to specifically leave this area alone because if it's hypermobile, what benefit is it to go in there and further move it, right? It's already moving too much. It's like a sprained ankle. And so if you go in there and have a chiropractor manipulate the lower back, you're going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's not do that. Let's not adjust people where they're injured. Let's try to move the stress away from the injured areas to other areas. And then what I think about is I don't do therapy here, I do correction, meaning we try to aim the patient's spine back to that curve that your back is supposed to have. We call this a lordosis, which is the arch. This is why we have the dentrals and all those foam pieces, because we're aiming your spine back to the curved position. Essentially, sciatica, if it hasn't been explained to you, means pressure on these nerves.
Okay.
So the nerves that exit on the side of your spinal column at every level, when there's a disc injury or something's coming out and hitting the nerve or influencing the nerve, we can get pressure, and that can go down in the glute. And so essentially the wires in your lower back will then radiate right over this joint. We'll check the SI joints, primarily what we do on our side. I'm going to check how the way it works on your side. You'll see me, I'll put my hand here on the SI joint. We're just making sure this joint is moving and rocking.
Okay.
Left shoulder's a little bit elevated, okay. Feel your hips here. Left hip is high. Okay. So you're getting away from your left side. What really it's the right side of your neck, but you're kind of leaning, does that make sense?
Yeah.
To the right. What I would see, in a second, we're going to see the right side of your neck, sometimes has an injury that makes your head tilt left.
Okay.
And then in order to not walk around with your head tilted, your shoulder will drop to make your eyes level.
Okay.
And this can make practitioners think you have a shoulder issue, but it's really a neck issue on your right side. Sort of turn your head left and right. Any pain when you turn?
No.
Turn your head right for me.
I feel a little bit more restricted when, like, I can't
Go to the right.
Yeah.
That's because of that, like I said, when your head's tilted, you're already in left bend.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you're in left lateral, when you're in this alignment, turning left is easy because you're already turning left all the time. And so when you try to turn right, it confronts the monster, which is what you're saying, and I feel my head doesn't want to turn right. Again, there's an injury on the right side of her neck. We'll see in a second.
Sweet.
How about when you just turn or rotate or bend, is there any pain in your back, or does anything make your lower back worse when you're just upright?
Not so much when I'm upright, but any like bending forward or squatting, I feel it right there in my SI joint. It's like a shooting pain.
Give me an idea of a squat that makes it upset.
So, like if I were to pick something up in front of me, if I were to bend...
With your back?
Yeah, to go like this.
Okay. Bend both the knees for me. Feet flat. There we go. Take a deep breath in. I'm going to help you. Then relax your chest. Relax your back. Exhale for me. Keep exhaling. Wow, beautiful. Deep breath in. Exhale. Relax your chest. Beautiful. One more. Exhale. Relax your chest. Chin down a little bit. Chin down, relax. Very good, okay. How'd that feel? You okay?
That felt really good.
Yeah. So that's they're moving, and there's a little bit of restriction, but that area moving and keeping that moving is the key to keeping the stress off your lower back. And I think based on what I just felt there, I think you're just putting a lot of stress in that lower back.
Yeah.
You said 5-6 days a week?
Yeah.
Maybe, do you ever have a back when you have a lumbar belt, do you ever put a lumbar belt on when you're weightlifting at all?
When I do like heavy squats, I will wear like a weightlifting belt to help stabilize my core a little bit.
Okay, good. I'm just thinking, anytime you do any bending, especially, you should probably have a back belt, on just preventatively. We just moved a bunch of tables the other day, and I put my lumbar belt on. It's a good safe precaution.
Okay.
Based on the fact that we have no ribs down here,
Right.
and there's ribs in our chest, the chest is almost always more prone to offloading the burden to the lower back.
Okay.
On your side. I got you. Exhale for me. Relax. There you go. Beautiful. You all right?
That felt really good.
You did good? Yeah.
That was wild. Holy moly.
That felt phenomenal.
I felt that all the way up, like all the way down. That felt really good.
You good? Let's go on the other side. You do great. Breathe for me, and then relax chest. There you go. Beautiful. Yeah. You're good.
It feels really good.
All right, you're good. All right. I liken it to being a chef. It's not that you made a mess.
Right.
It's that you didn't clean up.
Okay.
Right? So I don't mind you making a mess. I don't mind your activities in your life putting things out of array. But before you go to bed, we have to, today, it's the main focus today is going to be teaching you how to clean your kitchen before you go to bed. The main problems, to me, those symptoms are a result of you probably went to bed with a mess still in the kitchen, and then it festers and creates a bigger problem. And so let me see this bump on the right here. Yeah, there it is. Hello, see? This is nice and soft. Completely all sunken in, normal left, and then you got this knot right here. Feel this guy right there?
Oh yeah, I feel that.
Okay. I'm going to tilt you to the right. I'll make it go away. Don't watch me. About there, your head is now level. Sorry, the bones in your neck are now level, but your head is now tilted. Does that make sense? 15, 20 degrees to the right. Now if I have your head straight with your torso, the knot sticking out on the right. And I think of it like the bicycle when you're a kid and you crash your bicycle and the handlebars and the tire don't line up together, right? You have to make your handlebars crooked to get your tire straight. I want them both being straight at the same time. And that's the goal as we work on you, and ultimately through stretching is how this is going to be resolved. So it's through spinal molding. The ligaments have to be stretched. My job is to make the spine malleable and supple and not so sore, so that the stretching actually works. Very, very gentle. I got you. There you go. There you go. Now relax this left side here. Beautiful. Okay. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Easy. I got your head. All right. Feel these little nodules in here? Feel these little guys?
Yeah.
Feel that right there? These are lymph nodes. So these are the sewer pipes. The drainage of your face goes down your neck. And when we have a neck out of alignment, the muscles are now tighter because they're holding the neck in a crooked position. The muscles that are tight now can influence the flow of the lymphatics. There you go. So I use the massage as a way to get a deeper adjustment. I find that if we can kind of release some of the tension in the area, we can get a deeper adjustment and then ultimately a deeper stretch, which then ultimately changes your posture and restores the balance to the force. Bring balance to the spine. We're trying to bring balance to the spinal column, whereby our spine needs to age evenly. The main, if you're 50 years old and your spine looks 50, it's okay, right? Right. But it's when you're 26 years old and your spine looks 50, right? So we have accelerated aging, and we're labeling in America accelerated aging as a disease. And I'm here to tell you that it's not a disease. A candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. It doesn't make it a diseased candle.
It's true.
Right? It's if your tires in your car aren't on straight, your tires will wear out unevenly. It doesn't mean your tire's diseased. Right? It's the alignment that creates the wear pattern. And so we are being sold a bag of goods that something's wrong with us. We have a disease that makes bone spurs or discs herniate. And it's like, well, no, this area down here is under too much stress because this is out of alignment and not moving properly. great. You okay?
Yep.
Doing good? Okay.
It's a very odd sensation, but it feels
Yeah,
good.
yeah, well, these joints, it's almost, think of like Neo from the, why do my eyes hurt? Because you've never used them before, right? Why does that feel weird? Because you've really never used this side of your neck, or at least in a while. You understand? It's like this part of your spine has been offline and not functional, and now it's like you're itching a part of your skin that's been underneath a cast, right? You're not used to
Yeah.
feeling it because it's been off like limits. Now you've taken the cast off, and you're like, that skin feels weird. I'll show you the curve of your neck. It's way back here. This is home, and so at the end of the visit, we'll show you some devices we use to mold. So the ligaments that wrap your spine determine your posture. There's ligaments on the front, the side, the back, and so think of them like rubber bands, right? If you've never stretched the rubber band, it's really tight, right? And the rubber bands that have been stretched out a lot are really loose. And so if I put your head back or adjust you, but that tight ligament on the front is still tight, it just pulls you right back out of alignment. And so ultimately, the position of the bones cannot be permanently changed through adjustments. That isn't to say the adjustment isn't necessary. It's used to free up adhesions and to soften the tissue so that it is malleable and can be stretched. But in and of itself, is a step to get to stretching. And that took 100 years. It seems so simple, but that took 100 years for us to figure out that we have to stretch the spine to get it to change its position. I look at the global posture, right? I look at the total alignment, not just the segmental position of bones. We look at the global position of the bones.
I feel like that's a very common misconception, because when I first hurt my back, I was so afraid to put my spine into extension or flexion, because oh my god, it's just going to hurt me worse.
In some way, you're not wrong. If you're only bending at the bottom, and when you bend back, you're compressing the joint, so the joint has a lot of feeling. And if you're bending unevenly, bending back can hurt you. So that's not exactly a necessarily wrong conclusion. Now, you need to be adjusted so that when you bend back, there's an even bend, right? If you're folding all at the bottom, you will pinch it. So you're not wrong. But that isn't to say the conclusion is that bending back is bad for people. You understand? Bending back unevenly and poorly or all in one spot is bad for you. And this is where people went too far with it and now said, just bend forward. And bigger knot right here. This is a little bit bigger here. Let me keep working on it. How the alignment of the middle back determines how our lower back is stressed. If this is when we bend, your back is supposed to bend up here first and then the lower back last. And so if this area is restricted more on one side, then the opposite lower will be overworked. But this side's actually starting to move here. I'm just might be more restricted on the right. Right there. So they made a piece of foam that emulates my elbow, and we use it to put pressure right in here. And this is where I was saying earlier, end of your day, working this area, keeping your middle back supple, and then working that lumbar lordosis, that lumbar curve back to your back. You okay? All right. Keep going a little deeper. If I'm going too hard, please let me know. Today's a getting to know you. Still getting. There we go. Figuring out where your limits are. I'm tough, Ed. Give me what you got. Right there. I guess this is the tighter area, yeah.
So the left lower back is going to be overstressed mainly because this right restriction. This is, feel a difference right here?
Yeah.
A little bit more tightness right here. Less compliance.
You definitely feel a difference, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not as what do I say, as obvious as the neck one. This is
Yeah.
sticking out like a sore thumb. This is here, but not nearly as, it hasn't grown as long. There you go. Mm-hmm. Do you ever have any massages? You have anybody dig in here before? Not so much?
I've had a deep tissue massage, but it definitely was not.
Not,
I don't think it was to the quality.
again, not like this. Not like this.
Matrix kick.
Sorry. I live my life out through movies.
It's a great way to live. It's a great way to live.
Yeah, much more crunchy over here. Ooh, big difference here on your shoulder. Right here.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I can almost name it. Hello. I'm sorry, am I bothering somebody in here? You might have a squatter. Somebody just, oh no, I live here now. Get out of here. Get out of here.
It does not feel how I expected it to.
How did you expect it to feel?
I'm not quite sure. I guess like the crunchiness is very odd, but
Mhm.
it's not painful or anything.
My favorite is when somebody will say, your tool feels so knobby. I'm like, no, that's you.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, he's using something that has to have like
Look,
grooves or something.
look, this is, no, look, it's as smooth as anything.
Oh yeah, no.
What's bumpy is you. The tool is smooth. The tool is meeting what's inside here that's all tangled. But that's very common. People are like, you're a very bumpy tool. No. No, that's you. What's cool is as you progress through this type of care, everything becomes smooth. Nice smooth tool meets your smooth back. And then, it's just effortless. You'll feel the areas that are smooth, right? It's
Yeah.
supposed to be smooth everywhere. They're like muscle fibers. There shouldn't be any tangles in them, no scars. Yeah, there you go. This is also why they teach, in martial arts and even weightlifting, you're supposed to exhale, as you're
Mhm.
lifting. And it's, part of it is, obviously I did Taekwondo and it's like, you're trying to, but it's
Yeah.
also for, not contracting this area and keeping this area loose so you don't injure yourself.
Yeah.
And you're trying to, like you're exhaling while you're throwing a punch because you're trying to release this tension in here. Otherwise you'll just end up hurting your lower back.
Yeah.
And the worst thing we can do is to hold our breath when we're lifting, and we hold, right?
Mhm.
This is a great way to come see me. It's a great way to, and I think I hurt my back. I was having a conversation with my wife last night. I'm like, it only matters if you want to make it to 90. If you want to make it to 50, 60, none of this matters. But if you want to, it's about how do we make the spine last longer
Yeah.
and have a good quality of life in the last third of your life. and that's me. It's, you can get through the first third of your life pretty easily without me. It's the second third is not going to be that great, and then the last third is just going to be, surgeries and drugs and just what they do.
Would like to avoid that part.
Right. The sitting locks this joint, like I said earlier. We got to keep this joint loose. Right there is usually the
Yeah.
top part of it. Right there. Should have done leg day.
How much do like the hip flexors and stuff like play a factor to lower back pain?
So those muscles will get tight when this is not in the right position. When you lose your lumbar curve, so for instance, the psoas muscle is tight, right? So everybody wants to stretch the psoas. I just want to put the curve back in your back, right? I mean, you can try to play that game, but I believe that muscles are the pawns on the chessboard. They listen to the more powerful pieces.
Okay.
But there will be people in your life that will put them first in line. And I look at it as an alignment issue first, and then a muscular issue second. You understand? They, chicken and the egg kind of idea. The bone pulls the bone, the muscle pulls the bone out of alignment. I'm like, no, there's an injury that makes the bone go out of alignment, and then the muscle gets tight. Right?
That makes sense.
I have it. They order it incorrectly, in my opinion. Yes, the muscles are tight, but not for the reason, not in the way you mean. But yeah, this is great. You're here, young enough that should be able to prevent a lot of these issues. I'm assuming your MRI, but if we can, stop the aging of your lower back and start bringing some stress to the younger parts of your back, you're gonna have a long, healthy life. You just have to learn how to brush your teeth. It's like you're not gonna make it without a good lesson on how to brush your teeth. You can't be just dependent on your practitioners or dental hygienists to be the ones to teach you how to or to be actually cleaning your teeth. You have to participate at home. In the same way, I'm gonna try to set you up today with tools to take care of yourself at home. Like your tattoo, may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears.
Yeah, I got that at a pretty pivotal point in my life.
Yeah.
I can feel that all the way down into my fingertips.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. This is the injury on the right side of your neck that you're getting away from, right? This is the right side of your neck has an injury, and that's why your head's tilted left. And so as we compress the left side, we're gonna confront the monsters over here. And to me, this is really, if my dad walked in the room, he would actually focus almost your entire visit up here. That even your SI joint problems are from this being crooked at the top here, creating a domino effect down at the bottom. Now, this is unbalanced too,
Right.
but it's because of all this.
That makes sense.
And ultimately getting your upper body level is going to take the stress that's unevenly happening and even the tightness and the restrictions that are happening in the middle lower back. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath in, relax your chest, exhale. Very nice. There you go. You all right?
Yep.
Very good. That was wonderful. Put your arms down for me. Right? Feel that moved in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, hasn't moved in a while, and I found that you can get a deeper level of adjustment if we bring you back into extension. Breathe for me. Try to exhale. Relax your back. Exhale. All right, it's okay. I got you. It's okay. All right. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. that's jammed. Pretty tight. All right. Oh no! Somebody call 9. No, don't do it, Ed. Stop it right now. All right, fine enough. I don't mind this not clicking. I feel total solid. Do you understand? I don't feel much motion from
Okay.
the joint between the metatarsal and the phalange. It's just solid granite there on that guy. Yeah, movement, movement, movement. Just for the long-term health of the joint, you got to keep it motioning. Ooh. That was like. Do you hear the sound it made?
Yeah.
It was like it didn't make a click. It went. That poor joint. It's right in there. Hasn't moved in a while. Actually, I got you. Good, very good.
I did have a ankle injury in this in college, but
Like an inverted sprain, inversion
yeah,
sprain.
that's exactly how it happened.
Uh-huh. How's it doing over here? Pretty. So
I
is it?
did a little bit of therapy for it, but it hasn't bothered me.
Okay.
The mobility definitely is not good, but
Actually, it doesn't feel too. Sometimes it'll, there'll be puffiness. I don't feel any puffiness. You could have fooled me. So let me feel here. It does feel like you want to turn this leg out too far.
yeah.
I want you to, like, your ability to turn in is definitely restricted.
Okay.
Good. The main thing is the medial meniscus. So the more your foot flares, the more your stress you're going to place long term on the medial meniscus. And so you'll hear people get, knee surgery and all that sort of thing. And it happens because your toes are flaring out. And when your toes flare out, we put more stress, that makes sense, on the inside of your knee.
Yeah.
Vastus medialis, lateralis, intermedius, and rectus femoris. And so the 4 muscles, but the vastus medialis here, this muscle gets too tight,
Mm-hmm.
and so it vice grips and keeps the inside of your knee under more compression.
Okay.
And so you can stretch the knee by trying to get the butt to the heel. You kind of sit on the leg, but you also can work this part of the quad. I believe a lot of the foot flare could be from the injury, but also from the glute. So the tighter your piriformis is in the lower back, which is from the imbalance of your neck and shoulders, causes a contraction of the piriformis. So as we get your lower back healthier, your foot won't feel the need to flare as much.
And that neck is really the common denominator, isn't it?
Right. It always goes back to the neck.
That's something you don't think about, though. You always think it's something else related to a muscle or a tendon that's near that area, not
Right.
like...
Right, no, it's an alignment. This is an alignment. But this, symptomatically, you can help the knee by rubbing here. Just the crystal ball, 20 years from now, if it starts hurting, you rub this.
Mhm.
You go up here and you work this, and you stretch open the knee. There we go. Kind of look up for me a little bit. Look up for me. And relax. Push your elbow back into my elbow a little bit. Push your elbow back. It's okay. There you go.
Jeez.
Okay, put your hand around your elbow. There we go. Press back a little bit. Press back, press back. There you go, yeah. There you go. Easy here. Go ahead and tilt your head to the right for me a little bit. Tilt right. Okay. Go ahead and tilt your head to the right for me.
That is really weird. That sounds so weird. Maybe it's just because it's closer to my head. I don't know.
Gotcha. Go easy. I got you 1 second. Go ahead and tilt a little bit. Okay. I got you. Go ahead and tilt a little bit. Not there. Okay. Feet together, knees together. And you kind of gently rotate your knees to one side and exhale.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, try to breathe. And go to the other side. Eventually your knee touch the ground. But just don't, I know.
This right here is pretty good.
All right. Keep practicing. But I want you to practice. But every once in a while, I want you to try to practice.
Okay.
Because how you're getting off this is you're rolling to the side. So
Okay.
I will not. You can't do a sit up off this. So eventually you're gonna roll. That makes sense. The knees to the side,
Mhm.
and then you're just gonna keep rolling. I know. Exhale. It's okay. You're not gonna hurt yourself. I promise. It's gonna feel weird, but you will not hurt yourself. And go right. Practice. Breathe in. Exhale. Stretch. It's a stretch. There you go. Just stretch. I promise you will not hurt yourself. It's gonna hurt because you're compressing joints that haven't been compressed like this before. You're doing great. You press, and your neck wants to go to the left, and we're going to try to work it. Maybe we use your right hand. Let's try. Yeah. Get the idea? We want to have your head just a little bit, and then you put your hand back down. See, you put your hand back down there.
Oh, okay.
And then you just relax. What happens is, as your neck gets more supple, the stretch becomes more effective. And this is where, I don't just sell dental rolls and go on television, and because people that are stiff can't really stretch well, or they're only bend where they're moving too much already, so they end up getting hurt. And so, the effectiveness of these tools goes up as your care progresses, and they work together to accomplish the goal of posture change. There it is, yes. There you go.
That one felt really good.
Yeah, you're seeing the more the joints close, the more your range of motion, right?
Okay.
So part of why, like when I'm having your head go on that dental roll, the joints don't want to fully close yet because we
Okay.
haven't accomplished it on the table. And usually very quickly we'll have, and then your neck will bend over the device, and then the stretching happens because it takes you have to be able to bend to stretch the ligament.
It already feels like better just kind of going like this. Like I don't feel as restricted, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you did great.
Like, I don't know, like, before when I felt like whenever I would do this, I felt very, like, it took a lot of effort to go do this. But it feels very, like, smooth, like, easier.
To move your arm, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. All right.
For your help. Seriously.
Thank you.
Definitely
You did
needed it.
great.
Thank you, thank
Thanks for
you.
coming. Thank you.